The film opens with a sweeping view of a mountainous landscape. A couple, Becky and her husband Dan, are shown climbing a mountain together. Recently married, they're enjoying their new life and share a deep love for adventure, especially mountain climbing. Their fearless nature often leads them into dangerous territory. Joining them on this climb is Becky's close friend, who also thrives on thrill and risk. The trio constantly finds themselves chasing new, more dangerous challenges. While scaling a particularly rugged cliff, Dan accidentally disturbs a bird's nest. As the startled bird flies out, Dan loses his balance. Dangling by a rope, he struggles to climb back up, but he can't. Becky and her friend desperately try to pull him to safety, but their efforts fail. Dan falls and dies. A year later, we see Becky, still grieving and broken. She keeps Dan's ashes with her and has fallen into a spiral of heavy drinking. Her life is in shambles, and her father is deeply concerned about her well-being. In an effort to help, he contacts Hunter, Becky's adventurous best friend, the same one who used to join Becky and Dan on their climbing trips. After a long time apart, Hunter finally meets Becky and proposes an idea. Let's go on another climb. It was always our thing. Maybe it'll help you heal. Hunter shows Becky a towering 2,000-foot-tall radio tower located deep in the desert. She invites Becky to scatter Dan's ashes from the top, saying it might bring peace to both Becky and Dan's soul. After some hesitation, Becky agrees. The two friends set off on their journey, trying to recapture the thrill they once shared. They laugh, record videos on their phones, and enjoy the ride. But danger lurks again. At one point, a speeding truck nearly crashes into them, but they manage to stop just in time. Shaken but safe, they press on. As they near their destination, Hunter comes across a dead goat being scavenged by birds. She shoos the birds away and snaps a photo of the carcass, later posting it on Instagram. Finally, they arrive at the tower. Hunter starts recording everything on her camera. The sheer height of the structure is overwhelming. Becky looks terrified. Hunter reassures her, saying, "Don't worry, we've got this." She carefully secures herself and then ties Becky in as well. They begin their ascent. The tower is old and rusted. The stairs creak with every step. Becky is clearly anxious, but she pushes through, holding on to hope and fear. Eventually, Hunter announces, "We're halfway up 1,000 feet. That's as high as the Eiffel Tower." The wind howls around them. Hunter encourages Becky, telling her they're almost there. But when Becky looks down, the fear overwhelms her. Hunter jokingly shakes the stairs, which terrifies Becky even more. Despite it all, they finally reach the top. Unknown to them, one of the bolts on the ladder had come loose during the climb. Oblivious to the danger, they celebrate their victory. Hunter takes out her drone to capture the moment, and Becky starts to enjoy the experience, thankful for her friend's support. Then, Hunter hangs off the edge of the tower and urges Becky to take her photo. Nervous at first, Becky hesitates, but then decides to face her fear. She hangs off the tower, just like Hunter, and lets her friend capture the shot. Hunter embraces Becky as she gently releases her husband's ashes into the wind. The moment brings a brief sense of peace, and both women find themselves quietly missing him. With their mission complete, they decide it's time to head back. But trouble strikes. The old, rusted ladder is broken. Becky slips and dangles precariously, but Hunter manages to pull her up just in time. Becky's backpack, containing their drone and all their food and water, gets caught on the tower's antenna, completely out of reach. Panic begins to set in. They check their phones, only to find there's no signal at this height. While searching the tower, they come across a flare gun and a small microscope. Hunter dismisses the flare gun, saying it'll be useless if they fire it too early. Becky notices a wound on her leg and starts to panic again. She bandages herself as best as she can. Stranded with nothing else to do, the two sit and finish recording their vlog entries. Hours pass. Peering through the microscope, Hunter spots a distant car, but it's too far to call for help. Then, she checks her phone and sees that the photo she posted earlier of the dead goat has gotten several likes and comments. That means there was signal access on the ground. Thinking fast, Hunter types out a message asking for help and posts it to her social media account. She lowers the phone with a rope, hoping it'll pick up a signal as it nears the ground. But the signal doesn't connect, and the post doesn't send. Hunter decides to take a risk. She wraps her phone in a sock, then secures it inside her shoe for protection. She throws it down, hoping it survives the fall, and reaches a signal below to send a message. Later, while scanning to the microscope, Hunter spots a man walking with a dog nearby. The man is on a phone call. Becky quickly throws down another shoe, hoping to get his attention. But the man doesn't notice and simply walks away. Becky gets ready to fire the flare gun, but Hunter stops her. "Wait until sunset," she says. "Someone will come." As night falls, they try to stay awake. To pass the time, Becky watches an old video on her phone. But something catches her eye. Hunter is in the background, giving Becky and Dan a strange look. Suspicion grows. Then Hunter casually suggests firing the flare gun. They also try using Becky's phone flashlight to send signals by rotating it. Two men spot something from a distance, but they can't see the women clearly. Instead of helping, the men steal the women's car and leave. Later that night, as they try to sleep on a tiny platform, Hunter nearly falls. Becky catches her just in time, and in doing so, notices a tattoo on Hunter's leg. It reads 143. Suddenly, Becky remembers something. When she used to say "I love you" to Dan, he'd reply with 143. That's when the truth hits her. Hunter and Dan had a relationship behind her back. Cornered, Hunter admits everything. She apologizes, but Becky is left reeling, betrayed, and heartbroken. As they sit in silence, Becky spots the backpack dangling from the antenna. It has water and the drone. Determined, Hunter tells her, "I'll get it." She rigs a harness by looping ropes around all four sides of the tower. Then, tying herself in, she starts to descend. Still unable to reach the bag, she makes a bold move. With all the courage she's known for, she jumps on the ropes and climbs the antenna to retrieve it. Hunter manages to grab the bag, even though the rope is barely within reach. Using her selfie stick, she attaches a rope to the bag and prepares to climb back. She makes a daring leap, grabs hold of the rope, and begins climbing slowly, inch by inch. But then, her grip slips. The rope gives way. Hunter falls. Becky screams in horror, breaking down in tears. When she gathers herself and peers over the edge, she sees Hunter, miraculously still alive, dangling and bloodied. Her hands are injured, and she's unable to climb. Becky uses all her strength, pulling Hunter up with everything she has. At last, she saves her. They drink some water from the recovered bag and scribble a desperate note for help. Attaching the note to the drone, they send it flying, but it doesn't get far. The battery dies mid-flight. They retrieve it as night falls. That night, Becky has a terrifying dream. She sees Hunter's body lying below, birds feasting on her remains. She wakes up in panic, only to realize it was just a nightmare. But something sparks in her. She notices a faint light on the tower and gets an idea. She can charge the drone at the light source. The next morning, Becky climbs up again, hanging near the light as the drone charges. Once powered, she comes back down. They write another message, attach it to the drone, and send it flying toward home. But fate strikes again. The drone crashes into a parked car and breaks. Still, they wait, hoping someone will find them. Becky's health begins to decline rapidly. She's too weak to hold out another day. She asks Hunter for her shoe again, hoping to throw her phone with another note attached. But Hunter stops her. And here, we learn the painful truth. Hunter was never there. She had died the day she fell while retrieving the bag. Everything since then, her help, her voice, her presence, was a figment of Becky's mind, a way to avoid facing the crushing loneliness. Becky finally looks down and sees Hunter's real body, lying lifeless as birds scavenge around her. Overwhelmed, Becky breaks down in tears. She records a final message to her father, believing this will be her last goodbye. Another day passes. A bird, drawn by the scent of her bleeding leg, tries to attack her. In a primal act of survival, Becky kills the bird and eats it raw. Starving and desperate, it gives her just enough energy to hold on. Meanwhile, back home, Becky's father grows increasingly concerned. He sets out to find her, determined to uncover what happened. With renewed strength, Becky climbs back up the tower to the platform where Hunter's body still lies. She places her phone inside Hunter's shoe, gently positions her friend's body, and softly whispers, "I'm sorry." Then, she throws the shoe down, hoping it will land safely and deliver her message. Hours later, we see her father near the base of the tower. Police have found a body, Hunter's. Fearing the worst, he assumes Becky didn't make it. Then, out of nowhere, he hears a voice. "Dad." He turns and sees Becky, battered but alive. They embrace tightly. Tears flow as relief washes over them both. Becky's courage and resilience have brought her back from the edge. She survived against all odds. The film ends here. If you liked the video, then don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.